phones. My Wi-Fi tends to go off in my room since they're working on it and it doesn't want to print. So on behalf of the teachers of the Pottstown School District, I would like to first congratulate all of the Teachers of the Year that were nominated by their peers for their outstanding work ethic and achievements both in and out of the classroom. It is well deserved. Congratulations. In addition, congratulations go to our exceptional music teachers and musicians on their amazing achievements. Last year's Pennsylvania Teacher of the Year for the entire state was also a music teacher, so congratulations, Mr. Hayes. In addition, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Sparrigan on his retirement. We wish him very well on his journey for all kinds of fun things in Canada, some moose and bear and fishing. I don't want to diminish such great things that have happened at this meeting tonight by speaking about things and fighting with our school board. We need to work together. However, I do want to speak about information that was shared with the board last Thursday evening, as well as an ad put in the paper by Mr. Hilton's organization. It is imperative that some of that information be clarified. First, teachers have their own families. We are with children that are not our own all day, and we love them like our own. However, we have our own children to go home to at night. We have our own children's events. We have our own children's weekends, and we have our own school district's board meetings to attend. We will continue to attend the school board meetings of the Pottstown School District as we can. First, at no point did any teacher say in any comments that we have not seen a salary increase in 10 years. I believe that was actually from a parent during a previous board meeting when there were a number of parents that spoke. However, teachers have been on a salary and step freeze at various times over the past almost almost 7 years now, especially those teachers who were on steps A, B, and 1, which had absolutely no increase, even if they did move from one step to another. That A, B, and 1 salary step scale was implemented by the district during the 2006-2010 professional agreement, and it was not the choice of the Federation. Unlike many other districts and positions, we have seen no cost of living increase in that time, while everything around us costs more, including tuition costs and our health care contributions, which alone have increased 15% during that time. The raises that Mrs. Stillwell quoted for teacher salary increases on Thursday were probably accurate. However, we did not see the names of those people, so we don't know how they got those salary increases. It was most likely due to horizontal moves. Those horizontal moves can only be achieved by taking graduate classes. Graduate classes have increased in tuition cost 47% on average. Our tuition increase has not. Our tuition reimbursement has not. I also want to point out that one of our senior teachers contacted me. Just out of curiosity, I asked her, what is your salary compared to what it was before we had to take all of the step and/or salary increases? She pulled out her tax information. Her tax return for this year, 2015, was $1,599 less than it was in 2009. With that said, I'd like to show some facts that were spoken about last week, as well as some ones that I have researched. Just some visuals. And please understand that I'm showing this information not because other districts have more than us, not because administrators have more than us. We respect our administrators and they work hard, but we do as well. And when the board members are asked or have asked to justify various salary increases, they always compare to surrounding districts or other districts in Montgomery County, yet we're never allowed to. So I'm going to give you a few facts. Since 1990 to 2012, that green line to tuition and fees. I personally know about that because not only have I just recently finished paying off some graduate classes, I have a child who is at Westchester University, and I will have $130,000 in debt just for a state school for 4 years. Gotcha. I never had a clicker. I just pressed my computer. Thank you. This is another net tuition increase from 1989 through 2014. We're paying that. Our tuition reimbursement has barely gone up. Tuition for Penn State Temple, where our career and tech teachers are required to take classes, Pennsylvania State Schools, Cabrini College, and Ursinus, which is right down the road. These range anywhere from $1,517 on the top down to $640 at Cabrini. When you look at a cost of one college class, that $1,500 per credit comes out to $4,500 per class. Of that, we get a reimbursement of $3,000. When you look at the total cost for 3 classes, a spring class, a winter class, or a summer class, a fall class, and a spring class, just at Penn State, Great Valley, or at Temple, you're looking at least $5,000 to $10,000 out of pocket for that teacher after tuition reimbursement. When you look at the cost of a graduate degree, so that we are highly qualified teachers, so that we can attract more people to this community, we are out of pocket anywhere from $13,000 to $40,000 after tuition reimbursement. So Mr. Hilton spoke to Pottstown, Pottsgrove, and OJR, and that the board has spoken on numerous occasions about the large jumps at the top of pay scales. If you look at Pottstown, our step 11 has a $1,200 increase if we move that step. Between step 12 and 13, $2,500, and between 13 and 14, $57. I only went up to 14 on here because Pottsgrove's goes to 14, then 14B, as they get an increase halfway through the year above that, and we do not. You can see that the disparity between step 13 and 14 from Pottstown to Pottsgrove, our neighbors, is $10,000 more. When we look at the cost of paying for just a teacher's salary in Pottstown, I know that's a little small. Our numbers for Pottsgrove, our numbers are actually higher the first 4 years. Pottsgrove makes a little bit less, but then they start to grow and grow and grow and grow. And when you look at the numbers at the end of the column and you add up how much money a school district has paid over a 16-year period for a teacher, if they continue to go through each step, the cost between Pottstown and Pottsgrove is an additional $66,000 at the bottom, if you count each pay increase per step. At OJR, it's also $66,000. It was referenced that OJR doesn't have as big as steps. They don't have as big as steps. However, they still, at the end of 16 years, are making $66,000 more with a bachelor's degree. We can also look at a master's degree. On the bottom, Pottsgrove, on average, after 15 years with a master's degree, is averaging $50,000 more. Not only $50,000 to put towards their homes and families, but that money that is put towards PCERS for our retirement. OJR, at the end of that 16-year period, has put in $182,000 more than Pottstown has. There are other districts that we cannot even come close to comparing to. We know that. We know that North Penn and East Penn and Downtown and Lower Merion all have way more money than Pottstown, and that's a problem for the state. If you look at North Penn and East Penn, you'll see that North Penn stops paying teachers on their bachelor's scale right after step 5 to encourage them to move up to a higher degree. And they continue to encourage that after their bachelor's plus 15. On the right-hand side of that, you see East Penn does the same thing, You also see that other school districts offer things like a master's plus 12, a master's plus 24, plus 36, plus 45, as well as a doctorate. So what have we done as a union? I was very humbled to have been asked to be one of 3 teachers in the entire state of Pennsylvania to sit at the table with our Secretary of Education, as well as the National AFT President who came in for a speech, and our state AFT President, Ted Kirsch. 6 of us sat at the table talking about how can we change education in Pennsylvania. 50 states applied to go to this conference. 20 states were chosen. I was one of those teachers that was chosen to represent Pottstown. And again, I was very humbled to do that so that I could explain to them the plight of a district like Pottstown and how we cannot educate our students if we don't have a fair funding formula. The AFT, in probably 30 states, as well as AROS, put together a walk-in on May 4th, all over the country and a couple countries outside of the U.S. for full and fair funding, as well as other things. We spent a lot of time, and Mr. Decker and Mr. Bronsberg and Dr. Sparagama spent a lot of time trying to organize this so that the press could help tell our legislators that we need fair funding. And there's another picture of a number of people that were out there on what seemed to have been a really dreary day until we all got there and the rain stopped. It was great. The collaboration of the Federation and the school board, we're missing some administrators in there, but they had to get back to their buildings immediately. With that said, I'd like to talk about a couple of other things. As Mrs. Stillwell said, we agree that the funding formula in Pennsylvania is broken. We have offered to sit with the district on numerous occasions, such as the President's Task Force. We have offered our suggestions via spreadsheets. We have spoken out on numerous things and are intimately aware of the legislative issues at hand. In fact, last night I sent out 3 different emails urging our members to contact their legislators for things like pension, for things like fair funding. In fact, the Federation has done a number of those things. We have, while on vacation, called our legislators. We have visited their offices in Harrisburg and locally. We have sent handwritten letters and emails. We have organized at this high school with Mr. Armato's wife, Mrs. Armato, a voter registration drive, not only for the high school students to register and understand how important it is to be a voting member of society, but we also did it in every single school building so that members of our community could get rid of Tom Corbett and stop him from further decimation of our educational system. At the grand opening of the Pottstown Farm last week, we collected information from community members asking if we could contact them for help. Our members regularly, weekly, contact legislators for this. We have explained on numerous occasions the impact of an unfair funding formula and how it impacts our district as well as our own districts. We have been to Harrisburg, we have been to their offices. I think that we all agree that this needs to be an effort that we collaborate on. We need the school board's help for this. We need the school board to put information in the hands of all of our students and all of their families and all of their extended families. We need that information put into community organizations, at your church, wherever you can put that information out, organizing people. There are only so many things that we can personally do during the day. We are trying to make sure that our families have a great life and our students here have a great life. There's only so much time and we need your help to make that happen. Thank you.